Alright, so it's basically Yu-Gi-Oh here. What we're going over today is the Atlantean Mermail deck that I played in the last video, which you guys could check out. But for now, let's focus on this. Um, Now this deck, it's a really, really good deck. I really love this deck because, I mean, I started out playing Yu-Gi-Oh again with this deck, and I was really excited. You know, I started playing with this deck when this deck wasn't really up at tier 1 yet. So, I mean, let's just go over and I'll tell you the combos that I use to really help me out gain advantage throughout the game. First of all, it's one Mermail Abysslede. He's always good to have against someone who uses like high attack monsters. So he's a really good character to have. Plus, he's still rank 7, so that's good. You could still go into XCs with rank 7s. Next, we have 3 Mermail Abyssmegalos. These are pretty much the main focus of the deck. If not Abyssteus, then Abyssmegalos. Because if you can get in an Abyssmegalo, you pretty much have the game if they don't have anything on their side. So you really want him. Plus, he can get out Abyssgale of Cetus, Abyss Spear, you know, cards like that that really help you out. And then we have Mermail Abyssteus. Now he's just a really simple rank 7 to get out. If you have one of these guys and you want to go into XZs for any of these, we just want to tribute a water type. Discard a water type, especially Abyssgunde. If you have Abyssgunde, go for it. She works from the graveyard and she sends another Mermail monster to the field, so that's great. But we want to use Abyssteus. He's really good defense, 2400. That's a good starting defense. And he really speeds the game up a lot. Now Abysspike is just a really good searcher. He's just fantastic. If you have another Abysspike in your graveyard and you tribute Abyssgunde and you bring out her with that, and then use Abyssgunde's effect to bring out another from your graveyard to the field, you can ultimately what you can do is you can send these two to bring out Bahamut Shark, and you could use Bahamut Shark to get out Mermail Abysstrite in defense position. If she hits the graveyard by some reason, if your opponent uses Black Hole, she'll just take another Mermail monster, preferably one that you think is good, someone like almost Abyssleed that has really high attack points. You want to get him out with if your field is destroyed with her. And then we have her. She's really just a great defense, offense. You know, her effect activates when she hits the graveyard, so your opponent can't use effect whaler on her. If her effects are negated on the field by like Abyssphere, it doesn't matter, because when she hits the graveyard, that's it. She brings out any Mermail monster, so that's great. Abyssgunde, like I said, she's just great for discard. She doesn't have that high of attack points or defense points. She's really just to bring out monsters from your graveyard to the field. Now we're gonna move on to the Atlanteans. Now these guys are just really just the support of the deck for the Mermails. You could always really just go Atlantean Marksman, do battle damage, bring out heavy infantry, I believe, or you know, it's just great. You could bring out heavy infantry or Atlantean Dragoons, so that's great. Heavy infantry, what he does, if he's discarded, he can destroy a face-up card on your opponent's side of the field. So that doesn't just mean a monster, it could also be a face-up trap or spell. Now Marksman has the same ability as heavy infantry, except it's just a tiny bit different. He destroys set cards, so that also means that he can destroy monsters that are set face down, so their flip effects don't activate, as well as the spells and traps that are set face down. So that's just fantastic for Marksman. And then he has second ability, because if you're really early in the game and your opponent has quite a bit life points and you just want to make sure that you're safe, you can use Atlantean Marksman, do battle damage, bring out Dragoons, and if you have another Dragoons or him in your hand, normal summon, bring out Bahamut Abysstrite. Boom. There you go. You have a safe house, so if your field is destroyed, you're good. You could bring out other monsters. So that's really good. Atlantean Dragoons. Atlantean Dragoons is a great searcher, has great attack points. He also has a great ability on the field. So if you have him on the field and they have monsters that are a lot higher than 1400, he can attack directly, because his ability lets level 3 or lower sea serpent monsters, which this is a sea serpent monster. It'll attack directly. You can get the ability to bring out another Dragoon. So yeah, Dragoons are just a fantastic card in this deck. And then we have Sea Divas. I play 3 of them, so other people play 2, some people play 1, some people even play G-Nex, but I really don't understand how to play with that, so I just play Sea Diva. I keep it simple, I keep it nice, I keep it, just really simple and nice. With she's a level 2 tuner, so you can make a lot of things with level 2 tuners. If you want to go, well, yeah, you could use her effect to bring out him or him out of your deck. These 2 guys you can bring out with Sea Diva, and then if you have him on the field, you can attack directly, bring out another of him. So there you go. You have 4 level 4, level 3, level 2, or even like you have level 2 right here, level 3, level 4, level 4. There you go. You have so many levels. You can play around with your synchros. I usually go for Armory Arm or Ally of Justice. Sometimes I even go for Dewloren. I go for Crimson Blader usually when I have 2 of Atlantean Marksman. Since it's a level 8, I usually go for 3, 3, 2, 6, 2. So I have a bunch of level 3s here. This pretty much whole column, except Atlantean heavy infantry, is 3. So you have a lot of to work with level 3s. Now we're gonna move on to Maxi. I only play 1 Maxi because most of my opponents that I play don't exactly special summon as much as I'd like them to. Maxi is a great card to have. That's why I have it in my side deck. So if my opponent does have the ability to like a special summon right after one card like Dragon Rulers, I can put in another Maxis and I could just work with my deck like that. And then Mystical Space Typhoon is a really important card to have. Do I really have to explain why it's an important card to have? You want to get over the traps. If they set up multiple traps and spells, we have Royal Decree, which is it's fantastic, and I'll tell you why I played Royal Decree in a second. Most people put it in their side deck, I put it in my main deck. We have the really just basic cards that you need in this deck: Heavy Storm, Monster Reborn, Dark Hole. Dark Hole doesn't really affect your deck that much if you have like safe cards like Abysstrite, save cards like Mermail Abysslinde. That's perfectly fine. Dark Hole does not affect you. Mind Control is such a good card in this deck. I cannot like tell you how much of a great card it is in this deck. You can, if you're about to win the game and they're just putting down a face down, you could take control of their face down, and boom, their face down is yours, and you can go for a straight hit. Or you could use their face down, which is most likely a level 4 or level 3. You could use it, overlays level 4s, bring out Bahamut, bring out Abysstrite, boom, they're not getting their card back anymore. And then we have a Skill of Cetus. This card is a good card to have in this deck because it increases the 800 attack, and when a trap effect is activated, when it resolves, it has to be a continuous effect. When your opponent activates it and it resolves, the first thing resolves. Let's take some cards that Beast Warriors, the Fire Fist, play as their traps that are continuous. Once their first activation resolves, their next effect, you can negate it by sending it to the graveyard. And then it's just a great card to have. However, it is like a one turn kind of card, but it really boosts up from 800 points. That's 3200 points right there for Abyssmegalo. Abyssphere really works with Abysslinde. If you don't have Abysslinde in your deck, don't worry about it. Bring out Abyss Mermail. But however, you should have a Royal Decree on the field with that Abyssphere. What you have to do is first activate Abyssphere. So one of these monsters is on the field. So during your opponent's next phase after activation. So once you have an Abyssphere on the field with Abysmegalo, Abyssleed, and then when their turn comes and they're about to end their turn, and you just want to chain Royal Decree because it negates Abyssphere. But since Abyssphere has already been activated, you already have a monster. Abyssphere is negated, your monster is not destroyed. Boom, you have a free monster. You didn't need no tribute to summon it, nothing. And Royal Decree stays there for a while. That's why I only use 3 Abyssphere and 2 Royal Decree. So it's more common for me to get probably Abyssphere before I get a Royal Decree. So that keeps things in check. It also keeps Macrocosmos out of my way. So that's definitely something I don't want to worry about. There are definitely Mirror Force I don't want to worry about. I don't want to worry about any traps like Deep Prison. I just don't want to worry about them. So that's why I use Royal Decree. Royal Decree is a great card. Alright, let's move on to my extra deck. I only have one of Gaioabyss, Mermail Gaioabyss, and his effect is while face-up Xyz level 5 or while this face-up card has Xyz material, level 5 or higher monsters cannot attack. Once per turn during either player's turn, you can detach 1 Xyz from this card, negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls, and have less attack than this card. So what it ultimately does is it negates this effect of Mecha Phantom Beast. I wouldn't really get out Abyssmegalo in the first turn. I'd get him out in the later turns if I'm out of any of these cards, and my opponent's really just giving me a hard time. I bring out Abyssmegalo, I negate all of his effects for the end of the turn, of course, and then making sure that if he wants to bring out high level monsters, I can negate their effect. I can make sure that those monsters don't attack. Now, Mecha Phantom Beast is a great card to start out with. He doesn't get destroyed. He has a great amount of attack points. I can bring him out really easily with Abyssteus, and that really helps. I can destroy face downs, face ups with his effects, but I end up targeting the monster. So cards like number 74, Master of Blades, when he gets targeted, I can attach 1 material from this card, negate the activation, and then destroy the card, and then destroy that card, and then I get to destroy 1 more card on the field. So, and ultimately I'm destroying 2 cards on the field, which is just fantastic. Master of Blades isn't in TCG yet, but it will be, and it's going to be a great card for this deck and Dragon Rulers. Big Eye, you should already know why Big Eye is a great card in this deck. Big Eye just kind of ultimately takes your opponent's monsters, so it really helps when you have a tough wall in front of you to really come over. I already explained Bahamut Shark. They have a good combo with Abysstrite. Zen Maines is a great card to have because you have a bunch of level 3s. Crimson Blader is just destroys a monster and then they can't summon. Perfect against Dragon Rulers. Dewloren sends cards back to your hand, so I can resummon, boost him up a lot. Catastor destroys other monsters on the field. Armory Arms gives my monster 1,000 attack points, and if I destroy their monster, boom, they take the damage. And then Black Rose Dragon just destroys the field. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed. Please subscribe, thumbs up to this video, share it with your friends, and I'll leave all the cards and link down below. You can just check down below. Alright, thanks.